I think what is different is we see it more on the news media, it's reported more. Like, one of the things you guys know I'm from the Philadelphia area, and one of the things I really hate is that, you know, Philadelphia has one of the highest homicide rates. I don't know if you guys saw the statistic, but you know, like 50% of the homicides are black men. That's across the country. Anybody know what percentage of this country black men are, or black people in general? Anybody know what percentage black people are in the country?
30, 38, 40s around.
No. 13%. Black people make up 13% of this country. And black men, not all of it, but just black men are 50% of the homicide. Right? And so that number, that's a number that's, you know, it's been around here for a while. I mean, it certainly has gotten worse over the last 30 years, but we've always been in that particular predicament, statistically, you know, in danger. You know, they used to always say black men are in danger, right? Part of it's because of the homicide rate. So I'm not sure if the urban conditions are different. What you had in the 70s was the beginnings of some of the worst kinds of things that we see in our communities now, in terms of drugs, in terms of just a lack of city planning. Like, if you look around your neighborhood and the structures are crumbling, or if your neighborhood school doesn't have proper facilities, you know, certainly there's things that we as young people have to do, but there are structural things that have just been this way for a certain amount of time. And so, you know, I'm not sure if we could have done things differently in the 70s to somehow make you know, hip-hop better, you know, today. I think what has happened is we have become complacent with it as an art form. And so when young people didn't really have an art form to connect with, right, that's when they used hip-hop in its most political and most socially engaged way. Now that our culture is like the most popular culture in the world, oftentimes we don't use it in the same, you know, we don't use it in that political way, or we don't maximize its communicative potential or its educational potential. Again, the roots and the routes. We got to know the history, the roots of it, in order to appreciate that. One of the routes of addressing this, and this is my big thing as well, is using media, using film. You know, using the media and the film or music to teach, educate, and deal with some of our social situations. So if if you live in a neighborhood where drug dealers run your neighborhood, or you live in a society where homicide is the rates that we have, like in Philadelphia, we need to use the music and the culture to redress those things. And again, that's a way out, but it's also understanding the history to get to that. So one of the things I think that has changed, that I'm trying to confront, is the way that media reports on certain situations. And I give Philadelphia as the example. You know, they do this running count of the murder rate in Philadelphia. Because last year, Philadelphia had the highest homicide rate, and this year, Philadelphia is again on track to have the highest homicide rate. Now, most of the people who are getting killed are young black men, but also young black women are getting killed. And one of the most horrific tragedies of this rate is that little kids are getting shot and killed in the crossfire and in ricocheted bullets. Now, the reason why I question the news media is because every night, you know, they give us the new count. You know, oh, now we're up to 100 and whatever. And when I talk to young people and work with young people in the schools, unfortunately, and I would hope that no one in this room is misguided in this way, but unfortunately, a lot of young people wear that as a badge of honor. So like, if you meet somebody in Philadelphia your age who looks like you know, they might be proud of the fact that Philadelphia has the highest homicide rate. And I'm sure y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, cats are proud of the violence that's in their neighborhoods. And some of that is the responsibility of teachers and community members to really explain to young people that that's probably not a good direction to be going in. But some of it is the media, not the rap music videos, I'm talking about news media, in some ways glamorizes and glorifies that. So that's what's really changed a lot, in my opinion, over these 30+ years that hip-hop has been in existence. The fact that it went from being a tool that we would use to socially engage to now a tool that promotes a lot of the negativity in our communities. And secondly, the way that the media reports on it. I'm not necessarily talking about what Brian was talking about, but just the way the media reports on our communities, in some ways, I think, doesn't give us a way to reflect sensitively and seriously about some of the challenges that we